How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Z Garage, and today we are continuing painting the car. So I think it was a little bit over a month ago we painted this guy here, and it came out looking really good. I'm so happy with the paint, happy with the color. Everything looks absolutely amazing, and I've been pretty busy over the last month or so, which is why it hasn't progressed much further than where we are now, but we're jumping right back into it full steam. We're probably going to have this paint session in this video, and then probably two-ish more. So we're going to be roughly halfway through paint sessions, although I think the next ones will definitely be a lot quicker because there's a lot less to paint. But what we're doing today is two fenders, the front fenders. I don't know if you guys can see them that well on the ground here. We've got side skirts over there, and then we've got the hood on the car. So we'll go ahead and do all of these pieces today. That leaves us left with the front and rear bumper. We've got the rear over fenders, the Yoshida over fenders here on the back. We've got the gas cap, we've got the headlight bucket lids kind of, and the rear hatch. So we have a few more things to go. Those are all going to be painted white. The front and rear bumper, we're going to be painting some sections black, and then we also need to paint like the chrome trim pieces on all of the doors and windows. Those all need to go to black as well. So we have stuff to do and it's going to be a little bit time consuming, but all of the Yoshida products are almost ready for paint. A little bit of scuffing and they're ready to go. So the hood's been scuffed down. It had like kind of a little bit of an orange peely texture on it from, it's an FRP. So I think that some of the fibers kind of, push through when you do stuff like that. So that was sanded down. It's nice and smooth now. It's ready to go. Probably go ahead and tack cloth it again because there was a lot of dust from sanding. But yeah, so nothing like crazy to do, but we still do have a lot of work in terms of painting. So we're gonna go ahead and keep pushing through. I've got to go ahead and pick up these guys here off the ground. We've got to clean up this area because I've been doing all my sanding and body work. I'll show you guys these fenders, kind of give you a quick rundown of what kind of body work I did to them. Although it's pretty straightforward, fill in dents and pinholes and stuff, and then make it flat again. So it's pretty straightforward. The side skirts had massive chunks taken out of them. I don't know what my previous owner was doing, but I guess just driving over curbs really is what they were doing. So we went ahead and filled in a bunch of gashes in it. There were cracks in it because I think they're fiberglass, but maybe like a plastic reinforced fiberglass. I don't know, an FRP of some sort. So we went ahead and filled those in with more fiberglass on the back and on the front, so it's much stronger than it was before. And everything is nice and smooth again, so that's awesome. I went ahead and got some sawhorses. You can kind of see the red one there and the ones back there, some sawhorses from Harbor Freight. Those were, I think, $13 a piece, so not too terrible. And we're gonna go ahead and hopefully set everything on top of those while we're painting, just to get it up off the ground, away from any possible contamination, as well as just make it easier to actually paint it. I think that is it. I gotta go ahead and get a few things prepped for paint today. It is kind of cool in here right now. I think we're around 60 degrees, trying to get up to roughly 70 before we start. But we still do have a couple hours of work, so I don't think it'll be too hard if we keep at the current pace. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good. I also need to go ahead and swap out the filters on my box fans because they are kind of out of filtration life. And then pretty much just put up plastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. I don't know how much I'm gonna show because I've got a lot to do and not necessarily tons of time to do it. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've got everything plasticed off and we are pretty much ready to paint. Everything needs one more tack down. You can see this is the fender that had a bunch of little touch-ups on it. There was a little dent right there that we went ahead. It was actually a low spot. I don't really quite know what happened. Filled that in. Reprimed everything that had a little bit of metal showing. This one had a little bit of damage right on this body line, so we got that smoothed out and the body line's looking really good again. These guys here, we're gonna go ahead and, because I don't want to paint directly on these because this area here will look really gross when we pull it off the sawhorse. So I found that you can just take these caps from spray paint, shove them underneath, they fit pretty well, and it will go ahead and elevate it off pretty easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna rearrange just a little bit to give me some more room, but everything is looking good. I need to go ahead and pull these heaters out here. You don't want any open flame or heat sources when you are spraying paint because it could explode. Then we're gonna go ahead and plug these fans in, and then I need to plug in the one over there that's gonna pull all the air out. But yeah, we're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this finalized and paint, and you'll probably see some paint in the next shot. All right, guys, we went ahead and painted everything, and it's looking really, really good. The process was pretty straightforward, pretty smooth, no real big issues. I think I accidentally touched the paint air hose on the gun air hose on here at one point, but I went ahead and painted over. It's fine, everything's nice and level. And then I think I actually touched the air hose again over here. It was kind of towards the center. Kind of right there-ish. Yeah, I think you can see it. So we'll go ahead and have to sand that out. But everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna go ahead and wet sand pretty much everything once we're done here. We'll go ahead and wet sand any imperfections and then buff it as well. So everything's gonna look really, really good. Nothing too crazy. There are a few areas on the fenders that have a little bit of issues. Like there's like a paint fleck right there, if you can see it. So I think that's just going to be how it is. We can't really go back and redo the color coat underneath. So we'll just we'll go ahead and just smooth out the clear coat on top, and then everything should be, you know, as good as it can be. And then, you know, there's a few areas. All of this is going to get sanded, like I was saying. So I'm not too worried about any of it. Overall, everything's looking pretty good. This body line, you know, it's a little wavy, you can see right there. But for the most part, it's doing pretty good. These guys, the bottom parts here, you know, like right there, there's a part of the crack that I, you know, didn't fill in properly, I guess. Or I guess the paint just seeped into it more than I thought it would. But this is the bottom side of it, this bottom side of the skirt. You can't really see anything from the bottom. So the top sides look really, really nice. I'm really happy with those. Some of these came with turbo right there, so I might go ahead and put the turbo sticker on there, or maybe the turbo on the door. So we'll go ahead and, you know, see at some point if I want to go ahead and put some stickers on these. But I'm really happy. The sawhorses worked really, really great. They held everything nice and fine. Went ahead and put the paint caps under here, like I was saying, and they held it up off the sawhorses so that I could go ahead and paint around that corner really well. And I'm really, really happy with the guys. So next week, or, you know, next video is probably going to be the same, where we're doing the front and rear bumpers. Depending on when I do it and how much time I have, it's either going to be just the white, or we'll do the white and the black. And then we need to go ahead and do black on the back of the car as well, where the license plate is. So we might go ahead and roll that all into one. And then I do need to touch up that one spot on this door here where I actually remembered I spilled a little bit of the mid coat on it. So that's why it kind of looked kind of weird. So we'll go ahead and sand it down to the mid coat. And then repaint it all the way back up. So we might go ahead and bundle all those into one, because that's going to be kind of the last of the painting. So making good progress. I'm really happy with these guys. I know that this wasn't an exceptionally long video, but I am really glad we are still trucking through, because I cannot wait for this car to be assembled. Everything is looking really, really good. So as always, guys, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.